grandfather the whole year.
All right, Fred, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear. I can
All right.
hear you, but everybody else is sort of
All right,
chattering in
now
the
we're
background.
good. We're connected. And we will start the meeting now that we are all set up. Are we ready, Jada?
Yes, I can't see myself.
That's
Hi,
okay.
you wanna
You don't need to see yourself. They just need to see you.
Hi, everybody.
And
You
we
know, it's a glorious Tuesday when you have people around to have such a great meeting. You can't sit next to me. Hi. Hey, everybody. As I said, this is the monthly meeting of the Ward 3 Neighborhood Watch. I'm sorry, Ward 3 Neighborhood Association. And I think we have more than enough quorum, but if I could ask if people online, if you could introduce yourselves, please.
My name is Fred Zimnock. I'm in Ward 3 and I'm a director.
Thank you.
And we have Ace there. Oh, there. All right, perfect. And Ace is there. Thanks, Ace. Thanks for your patience.
Ace Taylor, resident, non-member, here to listen.
Who also lives in Ward 3?
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, we're gonna go around all right, let's go around the horn. Ronnie Gold, treasurer.
Sorry, here, Kathy Service, Ward 3,
That's
board
me.
member.
Okay.
I'm John. I'm the secretary of the LPO. Hi.
Oh, I'm Heidi.
Heidi,
Yeah.
next.
Hi, I'm Jim Nash.
Hi, everybody. My name is Joella. They call me Jada. I'm the president. Thank you.
Kelsey Flynn, board member.
And then I'm moving to the back row.
Jared.
William.
Yeah.
We got William back there. Stacy.
Dave Jones, lieutenant here.
Dave Jones, lieutenant.
And behind Dave is who? Okay, Jim. Resident, Sabo resident. And then over there is who? The great Bob, right?
What about Bob?
Okay.
And then we have one more. Dave, did you say hello? Okay.
Okay, take us on, Jada.
All right, guys. So now that we finished with introductions, so I have asked someone to read the Ward 3 norms. If you could, we can read along with it.
It's a true pleasure. Number one, in order to begin and end on time, we will have a clear agenda for our meetings and stay on topic. Number two, we will attempt to discuss topics of relevance to everyone and reserve topics with a narrow focus for subcommittees or another time. Okay. Number three, we will show respect for each other by allowing one person to speak at a time and avoid side conversations and interrupting others. Number four, if we have an elephant or a sensitive issue to discuss, we will attempt to provide advance notice or allot enough time in the agenda to address it effectively. Number five, we will invoke the parking lot rule for topics that become too big and need to be tackled at a later time or by a subcommittee. We will show respect and courtesy by listening to others, choosing our words carefully, and trusting that all present come with good intentions. As a result, at times, we will agree to disagree. And finally, number seven,
I think their internet went out again.
Yeah, I don't hear the internet.
And their video froze, so
Right. I wonder if they're aware of it.
hope so. Don't know how to tell them if they're not.
Well, apparently they've left the meeting.
Maybe they'll come back.
Well-
How long do we give them?
Well, I don't know. I really don't, I'm supposed to give a report, but I have no report, so, I really don't have anything formal to say. I do have a little note that I could, put in chat. Are you gonna be around for a while? Not.
I'm happy to stick around and I can repost the note. Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
I agree. Thank you. Thank you. I want to say amen. Thank you. You want to speak in public
Yeah,
comments?
yeah, it's going a little further than Dave, but the reason that we want to have unity and we don't have it right now is because of the lack of leadership between the president and vice president of the LTO. Everybody should be informed if we have a meeting with housing, what the subject was, what their answer was, what their commitment was. Everybody in the building should know what's going on. There should be a posting at least once a week to tell you, well, we did this, we didn't do this, and it should be open for suggestions at all time. Right now, that's not happening. That's why there's a little chaos.
All right. Well, listen, thank you. I, even though the president, somebody else said something, I just want to make just a tiny brief, comment. I just think that when you have meetings, I think that public is vital and having comments, whether or not y'all are attacking me, the world, the this, the that, you should be able to make your comments. And I think to suppress that, it's scary. It's a bedrock of community for public people, residents to be able to speak. And then with that, I'll go back to my president hat. Okay, anybody else would like to say something who are here, guys, please?
Yes,
Ace, oh, hi, sorry.
I'm Fred Zimnock, and I'm supposed to give a report on Meadow City Conservation Coalition. I have no report, number one. Number two, I will tell you that I talked to Taylor Haas at the 3-County Fairground. She's going to give us a picture for the website. She hasn't done that. I will check again this week with her and see if I can get a picture for the website. Other than that, I have nothing to say. I'm very busy and I'd like to leave the meeting, and that's it.
But I agree that, can I just say, I've seen you out in public more now than I've been president, and you have really been working hard on this behalf. And I know when you were going to the 3-County Fair, so I just want to thank you for all that you're doing, Fred.
Okay, I have some things to do, so I'll see you at the
Okay.
next meeting or whatever.
Understood. All right.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Ace would like to go next.
More of a technical note. The internet meeting dropped when norm number 7 was being read, so I don't know what else was said before that. The internet's been shady today, so that's all I got. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Oh, what can
We'll
we
read it, but it's
say?
also on the on the website as well, but we'll definitely read.
It's part of the agenda.
It's part of the agenda. We put it on there.
But here's number 7, Ace. We recognize fostering a positive group dynamic is vital to sustaining our group. We understand that well-timed humor can be an effective way to ease tension or fears and refocus the group.
Thanks. I don't know if anything was said subsequent to that before the most public comment just before Fred's.
Public comment before.
It was just our new guest was talking about Dave. It was
Dave Jones, he's a new resident of Savo, one great month, and he had a comment.
And he was talking about unity.
He's talking about unity.
I was talking about unity in the building here, unity in the ward. We all need to get together and work as a group, as less than an individual. You get more together, more work done. When you're speaking to everybody around you and taking all their inputs and putting it all together and make one voice.
Couldn't have said it better. That's great.
Seconded.
Oh, as of today, we don't have any candidates at this moment, so we can move right along. Right now, at this point, we're going to talk about general announcements of events and what's happening. So I think Heidi Seuss, you said you wanted to talk about something.
Yeah, okay, so the Hart Farm is setting up a local farm share hub here at the Salvo House. And it's gonna happen the second and fourth Friday of every month. And people can sign up either for one time a month or 2 times a month, and it uses their HIP benefits off of their food stamps EBT cards. And in July, the government has been so generous as to increase our HIP stuff to $40 a month. So it's basically free food. So, and you come in and you get a bag that you don't get to choose the food, but there's also free extras, which you can choose from, but they give you whatever's in season. So, and it's a good $20 worth. So,
Yes.
yeah.
Heidi is being a little bashful. She has been selected. It was a little process she went through and selected as a hub helper. So when they do the distribution, so when they do the distribution, it will be here in the cafeteria, and it will have hearts formed for each person individually. And I know this is new, and it's for anybody can join, but they chose Salvo House, not any of the other public housing, but anybody from around here can participate. So it is, we'll have that information on, can we put this information on our board? Oh, can we do that?
If not at the moment.
Not at the moment. How about if anybody want more information, you can contact myself or Heidi Seuss, because we are the hub helpers. But there is a little process that you go through. They have to check and make sure that you're who you are. And it's really good vegetables. And I think, and I think that it's a good
That's
thing
that.
for us to try to really eat healthily. And I just feel at this moment that we're so blessed. We have Grow Foods Northampton who comes here with veggies. And there's some things I never ate before until they started coming. And additionally, there's also the Survivor Center who comes every week, some veggies and milk and dairy. So guys, you know, we're living in the land of milk and honey in some ways. So I'm very grateful. So think about that. All right. That's that well-timed humor. Okay. Oops. All right. Moving right along. Any other announcements? I know.
Yeah. What's next on our agenda?
Next up, this is the thing here. Next on the agenda, we're doing general announcements. You would like to make an announcement? Oh, we're gonna do that with Salvo. Oh, I do have a very important agenda, guys. June 19th is called Juneteenth. And it's not just for me because I'm from Texas. And I grew up knowing all about Juneteenth. They called it a different thing at the time. They called it that, but they also called it Negroes Freedom Day. And it was one of the things that was very important. We're at Salvo. We will be having some good eats. Mr. Dave, a great person here who's going to BBQ. And he even said he's going to make some pig feet. Guys, you got to come just for that reason. So we're going to have it here with some chicken and also potato salad with not any raisins on it. But anyway, guys, we're going to be able to come together and we're going to do inside. And also, if I could, because I really want people to know what Juneteenth is about. I know when I was teaching, every one of my students couldn't graduate the next grade unless they knew what it was about. But actually, I will be speaking about some of the slavery that's happened here in Northampton. If you're interested in that, you can look at the historic Northampton page. On the back, they tell you about some things here. You know, names like Strong Street, Pomeroy. They also included that in the reparations committee when they were starting for that. But I think some people think, well, that's something over there, and I'm going to try to make it seem what we've done here. So I would like to invite everyone. It is a federal holiday, so I'm happy for that. And I also just want to give a shout out to the Northampton Recovery Center. I went there on something else and they said, what can we do for June? And I was like, I want Juneteenth. And they were like, excellent. And so they will be closed on Juneteenth, which is a Thursday. But Wednesday, they're going to cater their dinner. I said watermelon, chicken, and all that. And we're going to talk about it. And I'm going to be also speaking there. And when they're closed, they're going to put a thing of Juneteenth. To me, Juneteenth is for everyone. And you could at least say happy Juneteenth and recognizing that. So, and if you don't have to pay parking downtown, you're welcome. So again, anyway,
What time is it here, Jada?
we're going to have it. We're going to start at 2:00. Grow Foods Northampton is going to try to help with this. And we have one woman, Latino church, who helped with the Martin Luther King. They're going to make some macaroni and cheese. And so we're going to get if you want to bring something, you know, but I would like to keep it kind of light watermelon, you know, chop it up and put it on a fork and eat it. And, so all that kind of stuff. I had a couple of some questions.
I want to say one thing. Juneteenth, everybody thinks that this is a black history holiday. No, I want you to understand that no, it's not black history. It's American history.
Mhm.
That's what people need to realize. It's American history. So, that's what I said on that.
Thank you. Jim, did you have something to say?
Well, I was gonna ask the time and you answered that, but I'm gonna digress on just say, there's people trying to celebrate other stuff the same week. And nationally, and I think doubling down on everybody celebrating Juneteenth, this is a positive thing. There may be other things going on in Washington that week,
What
but
is that talking about?
Nothing, y'all. We'll tell you.
It's no, but that's the week before.
let's
Yes, it's Saturday.
look away and
Yeah.
do the good stuff.
No, guys, I have to tell you, I just want to say this. When I came to Massachusetts, my family in Texas, and I remember when Massachusetts state celebrated Juneteenth, and I would be like, Texas, get on board. Look what we're doing. Ah, that's so great. And then a week later, it was a federal holiday. And guys, I couldn't tell you the tears. And I'll tell you, the tears came. My grandmother, I wish she would have lived to see this. So anyway, thank you for that. And it is a lot of stuff going on, but you can take a few minutes to say, or to acknowledge that. And so if you want to come over here and hang out, you don't have to stay all day. All right. So thank you guys. Thank you guys for saying that. Everybody, thank you. I hope everybody shows up. All right. So treasurer's report. And here you go. I got some receipts for you.
All right. Those will have to be for the next round.
Okay.
And
Is Ace still with us? Ace, you
Yeah.
still
Yep.
there?
yes, Ace is hanging in there, it looks like. Thanks, Ace.
Reason. I mean, she's a candidate. He's a candidate for Ward 3. But
Okay, so treasurer report. We have, as folks can hopefully see in the room now, we have a $21.22 for 2 months of the Google account for $10.61 each month. So that would bring our total down. I have not taken that out of the checking yet, so I will be taking that out of the checking, but just want to let you know, make sure we're aware of the monthly expenditure of the
What do new board members need to pony up?
the individual is 10, the family is 15 for dollars for an annual. So
And where do
that's
we go?
It's voluntary.
I know, but
good question. Well,
we'll take it right now.
we can go to,
Can she be Venmo?
you can go to our Ward 3 website
uh-huh.
and, and if you go to the Ward 3 website, let's do this. Sorry, why is that doing that? Advance.
Private donations, just how we get the money.
Yes.
You don't have to.
There we go. On the Ward 3 site, if you want to, you go to membership. So under more, you go to membership.
Yeah.
And then you click here for the membership sign up form. And once you fill that out, it takes you to the PayPal link.
Oh, thank you.
So that's the long roundabout way of doing it, unfortunately.
Can I also say, somebody just made a comment. They said, well, do you have to, will you be treated differently if you don't pay and blah, blah, blah. And I can say this, I can just say, we recognize that, no, if you can't pay, nobody's gonna make you feel bad about it, and you don't have to tell anybody about that. You're part of Ward 3, and that's the wonderful thing about this group, guys. And I wouldn't be a part of something that treated anybody differently.
And for those of you who can get to the website, there is an option to just be a subscriber, which does not cost anything. And all you're doing is giving us your email so that you can get the emails about and be included when we send out updates for our meetings and events going on in Ward 3. So again, if anyone who wants to subscribe to our email list or to be part of the neighborhood association, You can select on supporter or subscriber, and you are not expected, it doesn't take you to paying anything. It's just about, signing, giving us your email to add. Yes, Kathy.
I have a question. I have no idea who's a member paying and member not. How would people be? I don't know. Neither. I know who the board members are.
Yep.
But I don't know.
You don't know if,
I
You-
mean, if anybody has given any to me or anybody,
Thank
I have no idea.
okay,
Well, I'm a millionaire and everybody's paid for right now, so I guess Ronnie could give that,
Well,
well, so at our next meeting, sorry, at our, maybe our annual meeting, when we do our membership, we can update how many paid members there are.
the names of people, I don't.
Sure.
Jen?
So the practice has been to collect dues at the annual meeting.
Yes.
And that we don't collect the money in between. People can provide money if they want. They used to send money to the PO box if they wanted. But it was really the annual meeting, and that, at one point it was required that you pay your dues to be able to vote. And we changed that to a suggested donation, that you can donate whatever you want to be able to vote. And, but that's typically where the funds get collected.
We haven't, I'm a lifetime member. I don't.
Oh, you're one of those folks, yeah. The $100, you put out the $100, nice.
I may have, I don't know.
But I'm just saying, that, I mean, you can track it all.
Did you get your tote bag?
My what?
Your tote bag?
You're so bad.
Is that what they got?
For 50 cents, you get your badge.
I bet that'd be a very, very,
Good idea.
sought after item.
I think it's a good idea.
So not up there, nobody has them.
Well, guys, I want to ask a question, if it's okay to the board members here. We were going to talk about the election reform committee.
Yeah.
And Bob Reckman, put a lot of effort into that. And, we do have a framework, but I wonder if we, because of the time and everything, if we can, table that to next month when he's here to discuss that, or is it that we need to do it next?
Well, I think I'd like to run through it.
Okay.
And, so why don't I start walking through this? And then also, I want people to keep in mind, their idea of what would be an effective forum for the various candidates that are running. And also, if you would like to be part of a ad hoc committee that's actually going to do the work to pull this together.
Okay.
So, and that'll make this go quicker.
Okay,
Because then
that's
we're
fine.
going to say, who are the 5 people that are going to work on this? And then they'll come back next month with a clear recommendation and,
August, you're meeting John, right?
We don't.
I thought it was August we didn't meet. You know what? We will figure that out in a few minutes.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So I'll just read through what Bob came up with here. This is his outline for election forms, and this is also based on Bob's been on, he was the founder of the association, and he knows how the forms were run in the past. Okay, identify the races that matter to Ward 3. These would include the mayor, our Ward 3 city council seat, which right now has 4 candidates, at-large seat for city council and school committee. If there are more than 2 candidates, as well as the Ward 3 school committee seat. Oh my gosh, I'm reading this. If there is more than one, in other words, we have those seats
Right.
that are going to be up for election. I think the number one things that we want to focus on are the Ward 3 counselor and the Ward 3 school committee.
Okay.
I think that, and these are things that the committee can look at. I think there's going to be other forms for the mayor. We may want to consider broadening that to include the at-large races. And there's also going to be a race for Forbes, library trustee, and there's also a race for the CPC. And I don't think in the past we've included the CPC.
Tell me what CPC is.
The Community Preservation Committee. It's a great committee to be on. They give money away.
Andy's invited
That's
me.
what they do.
I will send a personal letter.
Is the Forbes in Ward
you know?
The Forbes, I think it's,
You know, well, the thing is, they were
if
here
Katie were
with,
here, she could answer.
they
that.
were here with, Grow Foods Northampton. And they're here to try to also working on something to give some education classes to residents. So they are part of Ward 3 in that sense, but is it located exactly? I think they would be in Ward, what, 4? I don't know, the location.
Not more.
It's not in Ward 3, but it's a citywide.
Outreach.
It's like a candidate, it's like the ward can at large.
At large. I
Okay.
think so, Kathy.
So public library, so it's for everybody, so.
Yeah.
Switzerland,
Presidential library.
Switzerland, you
Yeah.
know, equal.
Yeah. Okay, Jim, are we all with this right now? Is everyone-
Okay, so, Bob talked to the city clerk's office. There are, if there are more than 3 candidates for a single seat or 5 candidates for 2 of the at-large seats, there will be a primary election on September 16th. We know that's going to happen. There's 4 candidates for the Ward 3 councilor seat right now. And there's 3 candidates for the mayor. So there's going to be a runoff for those. I don't think that there's 5 candidates for the at-large seat
Correct.
yet. But there's still another month to go before papers get turned in. So I'm going to ask from the floor, who would be willing to serve on an ad hoc committee to tackle these items? I see Emily raising her hand. I see Jada kind of raising her
I
hand.
have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So what if you are working on campaigns?
You know,
Would there be
that's a good
conflict?
question. I think the idea is to come up with a format that'll work across the campaigns. The goal of the association is making efforts to be impartial. You know, when we have the candidates' announcements, we don't do any interaction
Right,
with them
right,
because
right.
we're saving it for this type of event.
Right.
And part of the outline is to come up with folks who could facilitate the event that's probably not on the board, but respected in our community. So we want to look at the League of Women Voters. Bob actually suggests the idea of having Claire Higgins do it. That would be an interesting.
Busy, right?
Huh?
Is she retired?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
she's retired. She's got
she-
time on
She
hand.
is not retired. She is retiring in September.
That's right.
So she's gonna be a little.
Yeah, I mean, the
Right.
answer is
Right.
always no if you don't ask.
Right.
Ash.
I agree.
I threw it out. There was on the paper.
Jim has a
I
beautiful.
Well,
only read the paper.
But to Kelsey's point, anyone could be on the ad hoc committee even if you're working on a
Okay,
campaign.
thank
Yeah.
you for answering the question, Ronnie.
Because we're just designing the format and it's not going to be a solely Ward 3 forum or conversation.
Okay.
We're going to be co-hosting it.
Yeah.
And Bob sort of started a little bit of the ad hocness of a committee by emailing some folks. I think one of the things was deciding on the format was something we can maybe discuss here if we wanted to do, whether it's a meet and greet, or do we want more of a Q&A where there's.
That would be good guidance for the committee.
Yeah. So if we wanted to provide that with them, I'm not sure what folks in the room are thinking.
So I can give a general outline. So a meet and greet is you have a big room, you invite the candidates, they can make some speeches, people listen, and then people mingle around. You know, and they can go and ask people questions. There's no like give and take or anything like that. Then there's more like a formal job interview where everybody's given the same list of questions. If you've sat through group interviews, this is, you know, and so the same list of questions, people get to answer them. And then there's still no interaction between the candidates. Then the model that we've used in the past has some form of rebuttal going on. And that, so people are asked questions, and then there's some degree of give and take between the candidates around a particular So are people more interested in that type?
I like that. I like.
I like that.
I
And
like
I,
that too.
I like all that. And I would like to say, maybe a meet and greet should be here at Savo.
Well,
Refreshment.
so I love that idea. Just to jump in,
Yeah, food, finger.
I don't know if we have
Kathy's
time.
Holding her hand up.
Sorry, Kathy, go for it.
Well,
Thank
I
you.
just said that if you do the last, where it's people are talking and rebuttal, somebody's gonna have to really strong moderate.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm thinking-
So that's the thing, to find somebody who's not biased and stuff like that, to be strong and moderate.
Well, and that's actually gonna be the work, is to, if that's the route people wanna go, and it sounds like it's kind of the mood in the room. It is more exciting, and I think it gets more ideas on the table. So,
We're talking about doing them all the same night.
well, that would
Like
be.
a City council.
That's why prioritizing, like who are the candidates that the Ward 3 Association should be looking at. So,
Do we have any more?
I mean, we used to break it. I think there was once where we had 2 nights. We did like the mayor and at large one night, and then the
Right.
Ward 3, it was,
And school committee?
it's school committee, yeah.
Is that too much?
It's a lot of work, but it's an important election, so it might be worth doing that. But
Okay.
So it sounds like there's 2 options. One's the meet and greet, A, where we did in Lampron Park, where the people just circulated.
Oh, that one, yes.
So we have that
That's-
meet and greet, but it's not necessarily the same question, or B, some sort of a Q question for, discussion forum, an A or a B, and I guess we need to give the ad hoc committee some guidance. Maybe it's, so I guess it's an A or B option. What do we all think?
I would be, I would go with B as long as we can find somebody who moderates in a way that can control, if we're having conversations between candidates. To have a fair amount of control.
Right. Okay.
And even within the group, like everybody they're talking, like even have to see it, so
Mhm.
somebody's gonna have to really.
Yeah, well, the ones that I've been to, that have been that way, but I do understand that. I just wanted also in some capacity, and I'm consensus here, some way where everyday people who don't know that format can meet and greet with people. I think that's important, but I'm not making the rules. I'm just working with folks here. So, and you don't have to have something like that candidates to come here. And there have been some candidates who have come over here and have helped and cleaned and all this kind of stuff. If you know it, you're always more than welcome. But I think it would be important, especially with the city council.
And to throw out there, Jada, because you mentioned, in here, I hear you speaking to Salvo House. When I ran for school committee, forgetting the name of the house, there was another public housing body that had a forum that I was invited to. It was over by,
Hampshire Heights.
Hampshire Heights?
no, over by Sylvester's, where Sylvester's used to be back there. There was something, there was an event
Did you
held.
go to the lumber yard or
No,
to
no,
the?
no, behind, underneath is that, I don't know.
There was an organization, the Salvo House could invite candidates
Okay.
and to speak specifically to
Right,
Salvo House,
separate from the.
right? Like if you want to do a meet and greet,
Right.
that did happen. There could be multiple events. I think the question is how much capacity we as a organization have on how many events. I mean, it sounds like,
All of them.
which would be great if we have the ability.
Right.
I mean, do we prioritize the forum? How do we want to go about it? Forward.
It would be nice for, for candidates to want to come to the Salvo House. That would be, maybe that could be an out.
LTO, I was just.
Yeah, that would be. an
Yeah, because that's
LTO.
the fair thing here. And the part about it is that, I know Ward 3 wants to be fair, but whenever I've had an event like the cleaning, I invited everyone to come there, everyone to come there. I want all candidates to be a part of that. And I understand people's schedule and stuff, but with Savo, independent of Ward 3, people were invited. And I'll keep inviting people.
And the neighborhood association, if Salvo House had one, would invite people.
Yeah,
as-
right.
But, just in terms of telling Bob and the ad hoc committee what to prioritize? Is it a meet and greet or is it a forum of a Q&A? Jim?
So I would like to make a motion to, for the Ward 3 Association to ask this committee to organize a forum that will have some, it'll come up with some way to do some give and take with the candidates.
Okay, I second that.
I'm second.
Discussion?
Any discussion on
No,
that?
I get it.
Yeah. When are we asking him in the subcommittee to get this done prior to the primary?
Yeah, this is gonna need to get done before the, when is it?
September 16th.
September 16th.
You gotta get
Do
this.
you do the meet and greet before the primary? I mean, sorry, the forum before the primary or?
Yeah,
after?
because,
Sounds like.
yeah, because we have and on the 16th is, we're gonna have 4 Ward 3 county board candidates. We'll have 3 mayoral candidates. Maybe that's what we focus on, is the ones with the
Right.
multiple candidates.
I think.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, so
Right, that's
the
simple.
direction is to have one prior to September 16th,
For the mayor and for Ward 3.
for mayor and for Ward 3 city council.
Any of the primary.
Any primary with that
That has, right. has
multiple
any
candidates.
Primary.
Okay, I'll add that to my motion.
All right.
And,
Second.
okay, I did it, so you seconded it. So all those in favor, say, aye. Sorry,
Is there any more discussion?
that's right, guys. Anybody discussion on this stuff anymore?
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
No, abstentions? That's why I don't
Bob
wanna-
automatically a part of the ad hoc committee?
Bob?
Yeah,
I think
I
so.
think so.
Yeah, he started it kind of last meeting,
okay.
willing, and
So he's one.
yeah, he drafted, yes. So he'll be one of the ad hoc.
So who wants to be part of the 5?
Ad hoc?
Emily, Stacy, Jada, Bob. Anybody else?
Yeah, fantastic.
Nora.
Maybe Fred. We'll ask. I don't wanna.
Well,
He
and
said he was very busy.
Oh,
and
he did.
he did, and but a community member, is it just board because there's a community member who emailed
Right.
Nicole Roche
Nicole Roche.
Yeah,
saying she would like to be contacted if help was needed or something, so.
Wow.
maybe. This is the Ward 3 Association's forum.
Okay, so it should be.
It
board
should be, the board members
members.
deciding on.
John, would you like to be interested in it?
I'm so busy. Right?
Well, Fort's good. Fort's pretty good.
I'm not-
Are you the LTO person now?
Yeah, I guess. so.
No, you
I've been
are,
in the
that's
LTO
But you
person.
are on the board.
Fort sounds
Yeah,
pretty good.
Not the
To start.
Four,
Or do you want to get in there, Jim?
with possible 5, but
Okay,
there's a will, there's a way.
Okay,
all right,
so I think I'll type that up and
great.
I think we're done with that.
And a special thank you to Bob Reckman for all of his work. He communicates regularly with the board with this information. I think he's done an excellent job.
He's, hosting. meetings.
All right, so next we have the MC. What do we got next, Jim?
She just said something. He's hosting these meetings at Bob's house. We'd love to go there because he has good pastries. I wasn't gonna say that, but he does. All right, guys, we're actually doing pretty good despite our little lapse in time. So right now, Fred has come and left, and he said he didn't have an MCC report. He did indicate that he was communicating with the Three County Fair. I saw him, and he was really eager with that. So I, again, want to thank him for that. But at this point, we're now going to give a Savo House LTO report, and that would be John Waddle.
Yeah, okay, and June 20th of this year, we're holding a re-election for president and vice president. There are 4 candidates that are going for presidency and 7 candidates, well, actually 6 because one dropped out today. There were a total of 7 for vice president. And the reason for that is because over at least 10% or more have to protest and send their thing into petition into Boston.
Mass
And,
Union
they-
of Public
they-
Housing Tenants.
Public
Boston.
housing, okay, a lack of leadership, and that's why we're having that. And tomorrow, we're having a gentleman's luncheon at 3:00 here in the dining room. Yeah, it was,
It's sort of like Father's Day.
just for the males, it's, well, it's supposedly Father's Day, but not everybody's a father, so they call it Gentleman's Month. So come on
I was
down
gonna
and
call
have,
it so. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, actually, we have to give, thanks to, Karen Miranda, who's, well, NHA in particular. But Karen Miranda has been working on this, so, and I think it's nice. And she says, wear your nice clothes and put deodorant on and stuff, guys. So it's gonna be a nice thing.
I put my deodorant on tomorrow. I'm gonna take a shower.
So it's gonna be nice, guys.
Take a shower twice a day.
Anything else, John?
No, that's about it. Kara is still under investigation. We haven't heard anything, which you can't from the investigators.
But she was here today, just so you know.
Yeah.
Wasn't supposed to be.
All right, let's not go.
Let's not get into
Who's in her staff? Who else, who's there?
His name is Matthew Mainville. And he is he's the interim executive director. He's also the director of, Holyoke Housing Authority. And I've invited him here just to say hi one time. He usually has a meeting with East Hampton during this time. 'Cause-
Housing Authority.
I'm sorry?
The Housing Authority, where did you stay in between?
Yeah, East Hampton is part of Northampton Housing Authority.
Oh, okay.
East Hampton, Hatfield, and Northampton
Right.
Housing Authority is Huntington and Cummington.
Oh.
So, they're all parts of that. And so, and then they, you know, as I mentioned too, you'll mention that about, you can always come to an NHA board meeting, which is the third Monday of every month. I really recommend people come there. As a public, even though it's a bedrock of this, public comments, they've suspended it until this, investigation of sorts.
What time's that meeting?
It's at 5:30. So, and then if
Here?
no, it's online. And then you can just go to the Northampton website and then just to get that. But yeah, it'll be, it's nice to have people come see what's going on.
some of the best questions that are asked is by the public to housing. Oh, what about this? How do you do this and that? You put them on the spot to give an answer. Because as a person in public, you'll get an answer, a more detailed answer faster than you write.
As they say in the black church, can I get a witness? Anyways, let's go, guys. Anyway, all right. Well, listen, John, thank you for that. And at this point, we're going to ask Ronnie to see if we have anything from the Ward 3 school representative.
So I did reach out to her, didn't give her the most notice, but before today, and haven't heard back, from Emily, our school committee member. If it's okay, there are a couple of Bridge Street specific things I would like to share. I think it's important for folks to know. One, they just had the World Picnic, this week, and the new principal, Daniel Stern is his name. He was there. He's already been doing outreach and he's been shadowing, the principal and seems really eager and excited to take on that leadership position as the new principal. So that was.
Did he work in the school system beforehand?
He worked as a teacher and administrator in East Hampton, if I have it correctly. And he did some great work. I heard bringing a what do you call it, an accessible playground for the early childhood kids, making sure that kids of all abilities had access to the playground out in East Hampton. So that's a success of his from there, and we'll see what he can bring to us. But yes, he's already there, and I did get a chance to meet with him and talk with him a little bit out there and shared with him all the things the Neighborhood Association has done for Bridge Street. And so he definitely, hopefully understands, from the community boards, from the walking school bus, from serving on the school council, from the Safe Routes to School money grant, managing the sign board. I mean, he heard a lot and was very excited by the Neighborhood Association. So I got to meet with him on that one. The next thing would be just to share about Bridge Street this doesn't matter. I'm on the superintendent created there's a strategic plan that the school committee signed off on for the next, I want to say 3 or it's 5 years. I forget the exact number of years. And she's created working groups to meet the goals of the strategic plan. Two of the working groups are a net zero working group and a consolidation work. The net zero is to address, the city has by 2030, that there'll be net zero, and the schools are the largest part of the greenhouse gas emissions for the city. So figuring out how can the schools do something to support the net zero initiative. And also the consolidation group is looking at whether or not there needs to be a consolidation of the schools, meaning right now we have 6 schools, 4 elementary, JFK and NHS, whether or not one of those needs to close based on enrollment or the net zero initiative. What I'd like to make clear, because folks have talked about in the neighborhood, Bridge Street is not, the discussion is not close Bridge Street because of an environmental impact and the age of the building. It's just one example of a building that they can do things that that the design of the building based on the net zero, there's an older side of Bridge and then there's a newer side of Bridge. I forget the years of construction, but if you're looking at it from Lampron Park, there's the bottom playground, that big old brick side, that is the older part. And if you look at the library and the main office and that whole part that goes down to the parking lot, that's the newer one. And that's steel construction is what they were saying. And it's not well insulated. And so that's one of the things they're looking at is, what can they do to support, help Bridge either achieve net zero. That's the net zero one. The other group is meeting on whether or not a school needs to close, but there's not anything specific about Bridge being asked on the chopping block, so to speak. Just wanted to make that clear to folks. Yeah, there's been rumors, so I just, none of the groups there's been no decisions or direction anywhere around whether or not Bridge is impacted by these committees.
But Big Rank Road would be the first one.
Because of the what?
Built on a swamp.
Yeah, all the buildings have unique features to it that make it, yeah. But just want to clarify the Bridge part because there's been some things said.
Thank you for that. And,
Angela has a hand.
I had a question about, a while ago, you had about volunteers in the school. There was a discussion about that. And Northampton Neighbors is really doing a lot of work on working with bins for volunteers. So it seems redundant. So I mean, how's that? What's the answer to that? I admit I didn't go to they had a big, Northampton Neighbors had a big, I'm not training, but a big community speaking. So the speakers talked about volunteers in schools. I don't know, I didn't go to that. That was at the senior center.
So I know the PTO president came and asked about what we can do. I think it's more just sharing the information from the PTO with our listserv at this point.
Okay.
Yeah, it's more of the, us putting out there. For instance, I know they're looking for people for trans performance. That was so called?
Yeah.
Transformance.
Transformance.
As opposed to transformer.
It has, there's a new, I feel like there's a new name.
There is a
But
new name.
asking for volunteers to help there because the schools do selling of,
Right, they do some of the
Vending.
and do some vending, so
Yeah.
they get money.
yeah. So she said, she sent that to us and we send it out to the listeners. But I think it's more of that than Vin's-esque stuff.
Guys, I did forget something that I need to bring up. It's the meeting record, approved recording of the April 15th meeting.
Motion to approve the recording from the meeting.
Good.
Oh, man.
Well, I just got a. All those in favor, yes, all right. Say, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Do you have any extensions and don't say anything. Okay,
Yeah.
so it passes. It passes. Well, gosh, maybe we should start late more often because we are,
What about inviting the new principal?
That's a great idea.
Ooh, yes. Daniel Stern.
Yeah. Are we, yeah, when do we think would be an appropriate time, with him starting?
October.
October?
I don't think they like it. Oh, I don't think that was an agreement.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard, yeah.
November?
And well, I guess when is are we having a July or August meeting?
We have to figure that out.
Well,
And I guess I bring that up, I feel like sooner rather than later, because the walking school bus is run by the neighborhood association in many ways. Or, sorry, the neighborhood association has a very large impact on the walking school bus. And he's gonna be having, kids coming. So, I don't know, I think that, yeah, I mean, October could be fine. I mean, if we meet in August, if he wants to meet us for 10 or 15 minutes.
Yes, our annual meeting's in October.
The
Uh,
annual
meeting
meeting's
is in
typically in October.
Okay.
or maybe that would make sense for them to come, or no? Not the same time as the annual. But then everybody would be able to meet the principal.
Yeah, that could be part of the event. Is the principals there? Meeting folks.
Yeah.
I think that would be.
Like a double whammy.
Well, I just have a question. There's no Ward 3, we're not up for an election at this time, are we not? School committee?
There
Yeah.
is a school committee election and I think only
We have
one
one
person is
candidate.
taking it out papers so far.
Is that our reigning?
no, she's moved to at-large. School committee at-large.
I'm sorry, can you say that? So
Emily-
Emily is moving to at-large?
Emily has entered into the,
Pulling papers.
Boy, I gotta see who's pulling papers.
Her name is.
Okay. Renika,
Renika.
thank you,
Oh,
Ace.
thank you, Ace.
Renika Rochelle Montgomery. Oh, okay. Well,
Thank you.
maybe, thank you.
Ace on it.
Aces, I'm telling you. At large. Huh. I didn't know that. Well,
A long name.
it's a long name. It's like my long name. I'm the longest name on the,
It's longer than that one.
maybe.
So.
Yes.
All right, so I'm gonna make a recommendation that we meet in August. Because that's when we can have those recommendations from that ad hoc committee coming back. And we can decide on how we're gonna run that forum. Hopefully they're coming with a date and a location and that the board can quickly move on all of that and approve it.
I actually second that, guys.
so no July meeting, just
No
the
July
August
meeting.
meeting.
Okay.
Oh, I wanted to meet July and August, just because it's election and we got all this stuff going on. That's what,
Oh, you're
I would
saying
say.
the opposite. Okay.
well, I'm saying we need to have this, but I know people have a life other than me.
We traditionally take a month off
I
in
know.
the summer.
Yeah, you did.
So then it'll be, okay, September's election.
And we will have, if I'm thinking of the numbers right, we will have a ward meeting. We will have a ward meeting in September before the election. So we have the September 9th meeting. We would have an August meeting as well. And the following week would be the election.
Well, Jim has an annual meeting. We have to decide that. Sometimes we've had it here, but sometimes we've had it at different places. So we'll all decide on that. So Jim has a motion on the floor. It has been second. I'm not gonna withdraw my second, but,
What is your motion?
To have an August meeting.
Okay.
It's in July.
instead of a July meeting. So all those in favor, raise your hand, say aye.
Before, discussion briefly, just to
Oh,
put it out there, how are folks on July 12th? Sorry, August 12th.
I'm out of town. That's our vacation, but I am one.
And vacations are completely allowed.
We do have
So
Zoom.
relieved.
So is there any, besides Kelsey, August 12th, is there anyone who hears that date and knows they're not available? I know I am, I'm back in work. So
You are?
Work already?
August 11th,
Dan is with us on that trip.
I go a week before him.
You do? For your school?
Coaches go before.
Oh, what did you coach?
Math,
Is Matt?
instructional
Math lead.
coaches.
Mathlete.
Mathlete.
He's a mathlete.
Yeah, so
Well,
is, Jada, are you around August 12th?
yeah, I'm around.
Okay.
Sure.
Stacy,
I should be, yeah.
Emily, Jim,
Yeah, I can do it.
John, you August 12th?
Yeah, I'll be.
Kathy?
Yeah.
All right,
I got a question.
Yeah.
Where's the next meeting?
Oh.
August 12th.
No, where?
Okay,
Where? It'll be, the August 12th meeting will be where? Can it be here?
it'll be here. Guys, before we
Can
got
it be
that,
here?
we need, yes, it can be here, but we need to still vote on this. So we all voted on it. It was second. So all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those who oppose?
Put your hand
Any
down.
abstentions? Kind of.
Me.
So the motion passes.
So it's August 12th here at 7 PM.
Okay, 12 here at 7. Emily? And I'll make sure that I have complete food this week. So that's-
Guys, we got a real good person.
Yeah.
Okay, with that being said, guys, I want to thank everybody, but our June meeting is in, so maybe we should make a motion to adjourn, or do we not need to?
You didn't, the business person, second.
Oh, do we have any new business?
Any new business?
Well, I want to put it, we did discuss last meeting about, creating our next project. And we were looking at this idea of field trips and what have you, and just to throw, right, remember? And so, I'll just throw out there, I think maybe the direction to go in is the Tri-County Fairs Museum seemed like the most straightforward.
Yeah.
So, building on that conversation, I'll try to reach out to them and at least, maybe by August, have something back about what we could do.
Sounds like a great plan.
I talked to that new principal.
Yep, exactly.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Kathy,
Yeah, the other thing that I wanted to, and I apologize, I didn't follow up on, the meeting, how we keep, records of our meetings.
Right.
Yes. Probably just do it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, along those lines, guys, remember when we were voting for the new member, I was like, is that the secretary? Because for some reason I thought the secretary would go over the notes, so, yeah. Let me know how that goes. Well, with
Sure.
that being said, I think we're done. Everybody, thank you with all the stuff that we
And
went
yeah,
through.
thanks Ace for
Ace,
joining us remotely.
Everyone, we're always here. You're always welcome to come visit. And, we're gonna try to get a monthly cleanup.
Nice.
Thank you.
You're on the outside, so that's what we're working on.
All right, goodbye. all.
All right.
Meeting adjourned.
Okay.
Kathy looked at me like, not a monthly one.
Well, I think you need some places.
I've been asked that, maybe